Bulginaka, do you know that cybercrime is becoming a growing problem in Fiji?
Cybercrime is defined as a crime in which a computer is the object of the crime, such as hacking and spamming.
Cybercrime is also cyberbullying and using fake profiles to cause panic and spreading false news.
If you're involved in this or know anyone who's committing these crimes, report them immediately.
I'm Polly.
And I'm Peter.
We host the Traffic Jam Show on City FM.
From 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. every weekday.
Do the right thing.
In this bulletin, vaccination key in reopening of international borders, $9 million invested in Lautoka mill upgrade, and Minister extends wishes ahead of new school term.
From the studios of FBC Suva.
The rollout of COVID-19 vaccines will be a major component in restarting international travel. The Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation says the Australian government had hinted that if 80% of Fiji's population is vaccinated, then the chances of a travel bubble between the two countries are high. Kameli Mbatiweti says this will also boost economic activity in the country.
The local economy will kick-start with the opening of international borders.
If that happens, that means our businesses in Fiji will begin to pick up again and be able to create more employment and create more business. Then we'll see it happen.
Mbatiweti says Fijians need to work together to ensure majority of Fijians get vaccinated so that the border restrictions can be eased.
As long as the borders are closed and all, it won't happen. So there are some people who are saying, don't vaccinate and all that stuff. Please, we beg you. If government asks you to vaccinate, please vaccinate.
Australian High Commissioner to Fiji, John Feeks, in a statement says, there is no doubt that the vaccine is the first step towards restarting international travel. Feeks says the officials from Australia and Fiji have been working together on procurement and rollout of vaccines when they become available. However, Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Dr. James Fong says Fijians should not be complacent with the availability of vaccines.
What may change is the shape of the COVID-safe measures. In other words, we may have less stringent COVID-safe measures.
Australian government is working on a joint plan with Fijian authorities on how best they can support Fiji in planning and accessing the COVID-19 vaccines. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
The Fiji Sugar Corporation invested $9 million in upgrading the Lautoka sugar mill last year. Outgoing Chief Executive Graham Clark says this included improving the air quality of emissions coming from the factory, which not only benefited nearby residents, but the efficiency of their boiler as well. Clark says for years, Lautoka residents have been affected by the emissions coming from the mill, and the FSC made it a priority to have it fixed.
At the same time, it also improved the efficiency of our boiler, and using that we were able to generate electricity, which we were able to export into the EFL grid. And Lautoka alone earned more than $2 million this year from power exports alone.
A total of 195,883 students will begin school from Tuesday, of which 5,794 young Fijians will be going to school for the first time. Apart from the students, the Education Ministry is also welcoming 13,099 teachers as they are ready to start the new academic year. The ministry says 7,159 students will exit the education system, having completed 13 years of formal learning. Minister Rosie Akbar says as parents, teachers and members of the respective school management, everyone should stand ready to listen to each other's perspectives, learn from each other's experiences and appreciate constructive views. The ministry says as rebuild in the wake of Tropical Cyclone Niasa continues and the ongoing health crisis, she is hopeful that together a common ground can be found on effective efforts to sustainably improve learning outcomes for students. The United Nations, along with UNICEF, has deployed 25 midwives to the Tropical Cyclone Niasa affected areas. With schools opening tomorrow, UN resident coordinator Sanaka Samarshina says these midwives will provide psychosocial support to the children. The midwives are retired health workers who will be staying in different communities for 3 months.
Psychosocial support at the moment from the UN side is something that's been done more by UNICEF with children, and to some extent UNFPA, who are training midwives.
Burst mains continue to be an issue for the Water Authority of Fiji. Chief Executive Barry Omadson says this is one of the major causes of water disruptions, especially within the Suba-Nosuri corridor. Omadson says burst mains happen way too often and thousands of Fijians are affected by it. The CEO says a team is immediately deployed to fix the pipes so water is restored to affected residents.
My mobile is connected to the text blast that goes out every time, and it goes off frequently. All I could say to you, it's far too often with burst mains, far too often.
The Fiji Police Force 2020 to 2024 strategic plan is aimed at setting new benchmark for the force. Launching the plan, Acting Police Commissioner ACP Rusiati Tunrabu said by enhancing the capacity development, they will be able to create a safe and secure environment for all Fijians and visitors to our shores. ACP Tunrabu says the 5-year strategic plan has synchronized the force's dreams and aspirations. He says effective crime prevention and control, efficient investigation, detection and successful prosecution, reliable intelligence and road safety will be some key areas they will be focusing on.
The next 5 years will mark exciting times for us, as captured in detail in this strategic plan, all aimed at nurturing the professional development of our men and women. Our focus will be people-oriented, fostering a positive work environment to help officers realize their full potential.
Up ahead, Fiji FA to draft club licensing, and Kasavu FC and 76-year-old drought.
Oira na ngwani na nonda inuni ena beisinga ni mataka.
Mersusunga da kena loma dina kena bikaron.
Sakena ngau na mitaro bina nora baksanga ika wala loma taki na ngwani. Dhala bina oya wa meliki.
Bulre oya wa Samuel Samuli.
Nama kikirau ena be mataka.
Boniti kena bakarombuka.
Ni wai tiri kalima na miniti me ono kina tiri na kaloko. Ena Radio Fiji One na ndomo ibiti.
Indau kina na mataka. Dan ramai na singabo.
The Fiji Football Association is in the process of drafting the club licensing regulations. District representatives and Fiji FA officials have collaborated to introduce the criteria that needs to be met when the regulations are rolled out. Competitions manager Amitesh Pal says this has been rolled out by FIFA and all top divisional clubs should follow it. Pal says the workshop was a fruitful one as they held brainstorming sessions with district representatives.
We have 5 major pillars that is all Premier Division clubs should follow. They should be in compliance with that in order to play in top division competition.
Kasavu Football Club has created history after winning its first Vodafone National Club Championship in 76 years. Kasavu defeated Green Star FC 3-0 in the NCC final at Lawanga Park in Singatoka yesterday. Venina Rakotonga reports.
Hosts Green Star put up a strong first-half performance against a much-experienced Kasavu FC side laced with Rewa reps with the likes of Penyame Ndrova, Anish Kem and brothers Bruce and Setereki Hughes. Hughes was able to break the deadlock in the 35th minute after he dodged past 2 Green Star defenders to score the first goal for Kasavu. Green Star failed to maintain discipline in the second half, which gave Kasavu an opportunity at a free-kick meter from the goal line. This gave Anish Kem the opportunity to increase Kasavu's lead 2-0 in the 64th minute. Kasavu did not stop there as Gabrieli Matanisinga scored the last goal and the win in the 85th minute. Winning its first NCC title has been a milestone achievement for the Rewa Bay side.
Again to the Nandrong side, the Green Stars, they came up strong, give a good challenge, and I think the boys for Kasavu FC, Saram Hengas Kasavu FC deserve this win.
It is back to the drawing board for the Green Star FC side as they focus on making a comeback in this year's NCC tournament.
At the moment, we still looking ahead for the 2021 season. So we'll work on that. We'll go back to basics and start again from ground zero.
Kasavu's Simeone Tamanisau was awarded the Golden Glove Award and Zain Ali of Green Star was awarded the Most Improved Player of the tournament. Venina Rakautonga, FBC Sports.
Weeks of solid preparation paid off for Vusu Raiders after being crowned champions of the Nandrunganavosa 9th Rugby League tournament. The Singatoka Bay side defeated local giants Sambeto Roosters 16-4 in the grand final at Prince Charles Park in Nandi. Coach Isoa Mbatimbasanga says despite being a young team, the side showed confidence as they progressed through the tournament. Mbatimbasanga says taking down one of the champion teams was not easy.
We know that Rooster, they are the champion teams in Fiji in Rugby League, but the boys, I know their strength. I told them, you just do our game plan.
There will be a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the country, a slight chance of scattered showers by late afternoon. Conditions will mostly remain humid. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbc.com.fj. Take care and good morning.
हमारे खूबसूरत देश फिजी में चाइल्ड अब्यूज की घटनाएं आए दिन बढ़ रही हैं।
क्यों बच्चों का मासूम बचपन अब्यूज का शिकार हो जाता है?
अपने बच्चों की सुरक्षा का खास ख्याल रखें।
उनसे बातचीत करें, उनके दोस्तों के बारे में जानें।
आज के बच्चे देश का भविष्य है। मैं दीप्ति
और मैं मोनिश,
आपके हमसफर। शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
5:45 AM से 10 AM तक
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर।